Who's Devashish Som?
He is the main person with regard to the forensic. If there's any blotch-up being done with regard to the forensic report, squarely it goes to the North Bengal lobby and to this person called Devashish.
Devashish Som
He's part of the forensics of RG
He has been examined.
He was examined prior to 12. Then he went, of a panic attack, he went into hospital. I think that's what newspaper reports say.
He was an employee of the Calcutta police, or?
No, he's a doctor from RG.
Very substantial leads which have come up during the course of the investigation by the CBI. And they've given us a very elaborate statement of where the investigation is, what steps they have taken on the basis of the leads which you had given them.
Please, my lords.
And where they are presently situated. So obviously, let CBI continue to investigate, because it's important that these leads are not missed. They have given us a statement on both aspects. The first part of the investigation, which deals with the alleged rape and murder, and the second on the financial irregularities, which were referred by the judgment of the Calcutta High Court, order of the Calcutta High Court to CBI. So they have bifurcated it in two parts and given us an elaboration on what is happening on both the fronts.
Marot, has the IPDR report?
Mr. Solicitor, just one thing, please tell them. The injuries seem to have been accentuated by the fact that she was wearing braces and her glasses. How is it that she was wearing glasses at that particular point? Was she attacked when she was asleep?
She was asleep.
Yeah. Then how is it that she was wearing her glasses?
My lords, you can just doze off, you can lie down.
Was the body found with glasses on? Because ask CBI to just...
Glasses were not on.
Because
the Caesar list...
No.
The Caesar list of the particular day says that the glasses were broken and were found lying beside her.
Yes. The mattress.
On the mattress.
The mattress.
Have not removed it, Malad, because of the fatigue, and she may have gone to sleep.
Another thing is whether the CBI has yet submitted the IPDR report, because that is the game changer for your lordships to understand what was the traffic, the internet traffic that was going on between the accused, the victim, and it's a detailed report because it's called the Internet Protocol Detailed Report. Now, before, what happened was that the investigating agencies did not have much of a problem.
So the traffic between the accused?
It can be anything.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, the data is collected from the particular service provider. After it is collected, then it is analyzed.
We have recovered. I see.
No, not recovery. I want the report. What does the report say? Because it
obviously,
analyzed.
They are following up those.
Yes.
Let us only say that they have. Solicitors said that they have recovered that data. They are following up further investigating that.
The second is whether, I do not know whether they have again examined Devashish Som, who happens to be one of the main persons concerned, because he was first examined, then he went into a hospital. He was released on the 12th of September.
Who's Devashish Som?
He is the main person with regard to the forensic. If there's any blotch-up being done with regard to the forensic report, squarely it goes to the North Bengal lobby and to this person called Devashish.
Devashish Som
is part of the forensics of RG.
He has been examined.
He was examined prior to 12. Then he went, of a panic attack, he went into hospital. I think that's what newspaper reports say.
He was an employee of the Calcutta police, or?
No, he's a doctor from RG.
Yes.
He's a forensic doctor from RG. And who happens to be very close to the person, Molai, Banerjee or Chatterjee, I don't remember, and the main person who was the head.
Som in this status report?
I don't think, Manoj, I didn't get the name.
Just 1 second.
No.
mentioned here, he was examined before hospitalization. And my lord, I may not, my lord, right now say much on that.
Or the report states anything about one person called Dr. Chandan Sen and whether his case file has been studied. Why it assumes great significance is that this Chandan Sen belonged to Ranaghat Municipal Hospital. He was murdered in the year 2003. Same fact. He was murdered, she was murdered. What was the racket involved? The racket involved was with regard to fake medicine. Medicine being sent out. And there was also a Bangladeshi module as per the reports of that point of time. As far as RG Corps is concerned, there is also a Bangladeshi module whereby the bio waste was being sent into Bangladesh.
Sir, I would request my learned friend, rather than, my lord, detailing
Because
this in
Chandan
open
Sen's
court,
family-
let him write down and give it to me in a
We have
sealed cover.
already permitted anybody who wants to furnish
Yeah.
any information.
Lord, they give me in a sealed cover and I
Lord,
send them in a sealed condition.
ये बंद कर दो।
My lord,
It
on
cannot be appropriate to discuss it loudly. You just write it down and give it to me in a sealed cover. It would immediately be given to the CBI.
This particular doctor, why Calcutta is burning today? Because this particular doctor is the accused persons were convicted. Then in the appellate court, they were acquitted. Before this honorable court also, because the evidence collected was such that even before this honorable court, the acquittal stood. And that is the reason why all the elderly people, because this happened 21 years back, and that Dr. Chandan Sen's memory is what ignites the elderly people of Kolkata to come onto the streets.
My lords, we have
on
handed
the
our
last
papers.
occasion, my lord, I had given some names. I had said I would give names of persons who were present at the scene of the crime on the invitation of the principal of the college, who had nothing to do with the college, nor were they on duty at that time. They arrived even before the police arrived on the scene. And we have reason to guess.
Seven names, 7 names.
I have 4 names. I don't have 7 names.
Jai Singh, that a part of the report to the CBI.
Yes,
does
Lord,
the-
with their designations, some of them are elected members of the West Bengal Medical Council. So this is the reason why we are arguing that this is not just a plain and simple murder and rape. There are many more people involved in the incident that has taken place.
Please, all that we'd like to say right now is that the report by the CBI does specifically advert to this. So let's leave it at that because we have further probing.
I did not mention the names in open court. 2 of them I did give to the Solicitor General. There are 2 more which I will forward to him in sealed
My
cover.
lords, on the next occasion, there is a priority, my lords, with regard to
In
this
fact,
financial.
Solicitor, your report at Roman 9 at page 6.
No, my lord, on
Ro-
this, my lord,
on this
page-
Roman
yes,
9 at
yes,
page 6.
Yes, yes. Page 6 and 7, where my learned friend, Miss Jai Singh's, my lord,
That sentence, all of them,
yes,
so on and so forth.
My lords,
and so, they belong to so-and-so,
So-
and also members of.
Fair enough, fair enough.
my lords, just one thing with regard to this is that a lot of these people who have been mentioned, I am told, in the CBI report with regard to financial irregularities, but also being present at the scene of the crime when they had no business to be, many of them are in positions of power
Even today.
And this is what is contributing to the threat culture, the enabling of threats, my lords.
My
So,
lord,
my lords,
while-
if they could be, based on a prima facie appreciation of the status reports and the CBI investigation, sought to be suspended temporarily from their positions until the investigation is over.
My lord, this is
That
one of
is
the
what we are
prayers.
seeking, my
My
lord.
lord, this is one of the prayers which we have made in an application file before the court, which I would like to address you on. My lord, today repeatedly it has been said that the doctors are not going back to work. The first statement I wish to make is the state of West Bengal has acknowledged in its reply that we are all back at work. I would like that statement.
Right now,
One
that's not the-
second. Yes, it is. No, Mr. Mehta, it is linked. I'm trying to explain what accounts for the 51-day delay in their going back to work. I'm making a statement. I made a commitment on the last date of hearing that they will hold a general body and take a decision to go back to work. I am discharging that obligation by making a statement in writing that they have all gone back to work, and the state of
That's
West
not
Bengal
correct.
has acknowledged that in a reply filed by them today. So that issue, my lord, can be put to rest.
No.
Secondly, my lord, now the question is, what about the repetition of what happened last time? It is in that context that we say that the people who are being investigated by the CBI, 7 in number, are still in employment. And all that we are requesting is, this is the reason they didn't go back, because these people who are under investigation are still in employment in Archicor. And we only request temporary suspension of these people pending the inquiry, so that we can go back there with a sense of confidence that they will not target us. Lord, I know an undertaking has been given, and I make a statement, we've not been targeted. I've made that statement, my Lord. But how does one expect them to work in the same college when the same people who are under investigating are still, my Lord, in positions of power? Therefore, only they should be suspended. My Lord, I know that no disciplinary action can be taken against them until a proper inquiry is held. But surely, my Lord, they can be suspended to inspire that confidence.
Let's hear Mr. Dwivedi. Yes,
That's what
Regarding-
we have, not in this language, but we have hinted at that, my lord, that if your lordship comes to page 7, just, my lord, at the top of the page, doctors belonging to so-and-so and also members of so-and-so, they claim that they tried to pacify the agitating trainee doctors. However, the agitating trainee doctors allege that aforementioned doctors were working on behalf of administration and also obstructing protests. Further investigation is.
My Lord, let's leave aside the protest.
Not
We are not on
restricted to
protest
RG
anymore.
Corps. It's not restricted to RG Corps. The people in positions of power are in positions of power with regard to the medical examinations, the examination board, the corporation that takes tenders, and the West Bengal Medical Council, my lords.
Mr. Solicitor, by the next date of listing,
My lords.
this is something on which you must apprise the court. I mean, who are the people, even on, forget whether they were involved in any conspiracy to hush up the murder, or that's a very important aspect, but keep that aside for a moment. Are there any people presently who are under investigation, who are in positions of authority in the hospital, against whom there is an allegation of involvement in financial irregularities?
Or my Lord, with the crime.
Or with
Both.
the first crime.
Inside
Both
and
are-
outside the
With
hospital.
the cover up and the financial irregularities.
Both are
Yes,
crimes.
Both
yes.
are financial.
Either of the crimes or both of the crimes.
So let us know, because then.
So let
Mr.
CBI indicate, my lord, to us, my lord, who are those people, and we'll, my lord,
That's
then take.
Yeah,
action.
we'll give them the names and see.
Yes,
Let me
yes.
give them the names, that's no
Because-
problem.
Mr. Solicitor, ultimately, any action has to be taken by the state government as the disciplinary authority. For us to issue a direction of a general nature right now, without being in possession of full facts, would be really to take over that jurisdiction of a disciplinary authority. So I think it would be appropriate if at this level, at least there is some sharing of information.
Yes.
Yes,
I will
On
share.
what, with the state government, so that then they can, because suppose they were to take action and there is a petition challenging that action, the first question would be, what is the basis on which you have acted? Second, of course, you can suspend in anticipation of a disciplinary inquiry, but they must have some material. Have you, as a state government, have you taken any call on any disciplinary action against
my lord,
any
we
other
were
person?
told about 5 doctors, they have been, my lord, suspended, action have been taken. Rest, if CBI, as and when they tell us, my lord, something specific against them, or that they have been made accused, because investigation is very wide.
Who are the 5 doctors in RG Corps whom you have suspended?
Who are the 5 persons? I'm sorry.
The recommendation is with the head of the postmortem is supposed to be the head of the threat culture.
Sir, there are many more than that.
And
My
it's
Lord,
not
we
just in
are
RG.
willing to share the names with the state of West Bengal. And my Lord, if they are not suspended, they can at least be asked to proceed on leave. during this pendency of the CBI inquiry, because my lord, otherwise we'll be told again and again, you're protesting, you're not going back to work. My lord, it's been a big effort convincing them to go back to work. We've succeeded, and they have gone back to work. But the reason I'm raising this issue is, my lord, I don't want to come back to the court and say it's happening all over again. So let them just go on leave. I will give the names.
Please
my
give
lord.
the names to
That-
the
yeah,
CBI.
No,
And I will
Learned
give the names
Judge-
as well, my lord.
Chief Justice is saying it's for the state.
Mr. Saidi.
Please, my application 213387 is specifically on this issue on behalf of doctors working across the state of West Bengal, where we have named specific individuals who are involved as part of the so-called mafia, syndicate, nexus, whatever my lord seems to call it. But this is the specific issue that we have identified, that the underlying motivation and the interstate nexus, not intrastate nexus, which is singularly responsible for what has ultimately happened, needs to be investigated. We have identified individuals in our application. That is the application number 213387.
Now,
So we will share
presently,
those
we are looking,
details.
right. Presently, we are looking at two aspects of RG-Cor.
Please.
One, the actual incident which took place,
Please.
and the issue of financial irregularities.
Because this goes beyond our
Now-
it's the
It does go beyond our
Minute.
my lord.
Absolutely.
No, my lord, today it's a question of
Just one
doctors
second.
going back to work.
The only question is that today, if we expand the investigation across other hospitals,
Please.
then we'll be in a situation where CBI will be left with an impossible situation. We are focusing on RG-Cor, but rest assured, thereafter we'll see on what further to do. You have moved that application, that's important. At this stage, I think what you can do is, you can, Mr. Solicitor, you can look at the, IA, so that, you know, if there is any further, if you know, there is a need for broadening the investigation, you can apprise the court, and then we can pass whatever supportive orders are necessary to effectuate that purpose.
Sir,
Because if this is a part of a broader nexus, either intra or interstate, then certainly this is a matter which we'll have to entrust to the CBI, of course. But before we do that, we must have some concrete materials
Yes, sir.
from
We shall,
the applicants,
examine
and we
their-
may share with the CBI.
No,
Flip a coin to it.
because we have been cautious in sharing the material because of the investigation is pending. I said, I have it in writing, but I'm not mentioning
Plus,
the names.
they are not going to
But
take
even the-
action because of the various doctors or groups of doctors or associations who are coming up with their own grievances and ask
No,
for here and there. Just a minute, please. On the last occasion, my lord, when the doctors association met, my lord, the CM, the chief minister, my lord, then they requested transfer of the commissioner police, the DC North, the director medical education and director health service, all of them have been transferred. My lord,
They
from there.
wanted resignation,
Now-
my lords.
Now resignation, dismissal, removal, so that's the whole problem.
But he was given a,
No, my lord, no.
the commissioner of police
It's
was
just that,
given
you
a
know,
promotion.
for an inquiry, that somebody,
That's right.
suppose that is challenged,
That was the plea, my lord. The resignation
that,
was the plea.
would that even stand? It has
Demand.
action which is.
And this is what they want.
We are not making any such demand. Let them go and leave.
Just allow me. brother.
Demands, my lord.
Now, this is all of them signed it, but this is what they gave to us. We gave it to your
My
lordship
lord,
at the last.
may I
occasion.
just, your lordship will.
Now, further, my lords, as and when, my lord, the CBI gives us, my lord, any information about any person, my lord, howsoever high or low, of having been involved, my lord, in something, or that, my lord, his presence is not required, he should be removed, or he will be action will be
I would
taken
only
against them.
request, my lord, I would only
No
request,
difficulty.
I would request, my lord, them to give me those names in a sealed cover. I will pass it on to CBI.
No, unto the state.
Just one, a fourth status report dated 30 September 2024 by the DIG, stroke head of branch, Special Crime -1 CBI, has been submitted to the court. Full stop. The status report indicates the leads on the investigation, which are being followed up by the CBI, and the steps which have been taken in the course of the investigation. Next. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors have submitted their concerns to the effect that, uske pehle I just don't say that, learned counsel, without full stop. At this stage, it would be inappropriate, at this stage, where the investigation is in progress, it would not be appropriate to set down the details of the investigation or the leads which are being followed by the CBI, since that would compromise the status and effectiveness of the investigation. Full stop. At the same time, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, don't say at the same time, the CBI, as it appears before the court, is conducting an investigation on two facets, first, the alleged rape and murder which took place on 9 August 2024 at RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, and second, the allegations in regard to financial irregularities, which was also entrusted for the investigation of the CBI by the orders of the Division Bench of the Calcutta High Court. Stop. Whether each of these are completely disconnected features, or whether there is a relationship between the two, is a matter again of investigation by the CBI. Full stop. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors as well as their associations have drawn attention to the fact that several persons against whom there are serious allegations of misdemeanor in the Medical College and Hospital are still occupying positions of responsibility. Full stop. The status report which has been submitted by the CBI indicates that several of these aspects are still under investigation. Stop. Responding to the submission of the doctors to the effect that the persons in positions of responsibility at the Medical College and Hospital should either be suspended or be directed to proceed on leave is a matter which will require examination by the state government as the appointing and disciplinary authority. Full stop. Mr. Rakesh Dwivedi, learned senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, has submitted that if the CBI would share with the state government such preliminary material which would indicate the complicity of any persons in positions of authority, the state government will duly take necessary action in accordance with law, consistent with the service rules and regulations. Full stop. That apart, in the event that it appears that the irregularities which are noticed in the context of the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital cover not just the hospital in question, hospital and medical college in question, but extend to other such institutions within the state, within or outside the state,
So
the court may be, the investigating team of the CBI may be informed along the modalities which have already been prescribed by the earlier orders of this court. Thereafter, the court may take a call on what further directions to the CBI would be required to ensure that the investigation covers other aspects which may travel beyond the incidents which have taken place at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital.
Lord, I have a request to make, Lord.
Just record the IA number.
Now, sorry,
I have one request, Lord.
please wait. A fresh application being IA number
213387 of 2024.
2133
87.
87 of 2024,
September.
which has been filed in that regard,
Please.
is taken on the file.
Great.
Full stop. Details of the IA may be shared with the investigating officers of the CBI, investigating officers.
My lord, your lordship may kindly record. My lord,
my IA number
request-
Because I have one request, Lord.
Now, just 1 second. Now,
I have one
a
request.
little bit time for Mr. Dwivedi. Mr. Dwivedi, between the last order and this order, today's hearing, what steps have been taken by the state of West Bengal
Because-
for the installation of CCTV
Yes,
cameras?
we have filed an F.
2, for providing additional security. 3, for constructing duty rooms, which are separate from male and female doctors, for construction of toilets, for providing biometric access to critical areas of hospitals. What steps, what is the present improvement in the?
We have filed an affidavit, Lord, today, Lord, in the morning.
What have you
Now-
done?
we have shown the progress, my lord, in that, but we need some more time, my lord, to complete the task. Kindly have paragraph 8,
At page?
page 5. There have been some logistical delays, not because of release of funds and all that. Otherwise,
Floods
and
and floods in
massive floods.
floods in the state of the.
You have to
But
take
still-
action now. How many new CCTV cameras have been installed? Tell us that.
Because we mentioned CC at page 5, my lord, Your Lordship, paragraph 8, last bottom, my lord.
Does it
6178 were to be installed, my lord. 26% have been installed, my lord, up till, and remaining we are likely to complete by 10th of October, my lord. And so far as RG core is concerned, it is at page paragraph 11.
Here's that no part of the work is above 50%. Duty rooms, 49%.
That's right.
Washrooms,
Duty-
40%.
Only
Lighting
duty-
arrangements, 33%. CCTV installation, 26%. Why is the progress so tardy? Because I mean,
Because
we have
of-
been monitoring this now for quite, since 9th of August, we are into
Because tender,
September.
etc., had to be floated because of all those, but we are like, we'll complete all this road by maximum 15th October. my lord.
You have said 31st of October, completed by 15th of October now.
I'm saying 15th. I've told them, my lord, myself, they wanted time to be 31st so that we don't have to revert back for more time. But I want your lordships to post it by 15th October, my lord, so that by that time, my lord, we can give your lordships, most of the work will be completed, my lords. And so far RG core is concerned, my lord, duty room, my lord, tenders, etc. have matured, but we have to take
Who's
permission from
looking after
CBI.
that? Who's now the principal at the RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital today? Has somebody been appointed?
Dr. Manas Banerjee.
He's come from outside or he was a doctor within actually?
He's from Bengal only. my lord.
No, but he was within RG Kaur or he's come in from
No,
some
he
other-
was 4 years back, he has been in RG
He
core.
was principal of Barasat Medical College,
Which medical college?
Barasat Medical College.
Narsat Medical College.
And later on, sir, he was, after this incident, we reviewed his reputation. I knew him. So he was earlier MSVP of RGKR almost 4 years back, very efficient officer. So we got him back as a principal because he was already promoted. And one of our
He's from
best
Maharashtra, he's not
MSVP, Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee, who was there in Bakura Medical College. We also brought him. He's a young guy and he has developed quite a good reputation and comfort with the resident doctors and both of them are very well accepted within the.
His lordship, next time.
So you are the health.
He's the principal secretary, my lord, health.
The Principal Secretary Health of Government of West Bengal, who is present in the course of the hearing, has informed the court that following the incident which took place on 9 August 2024, the state government has brought in 2 officers as the principal of the medical college and hospital and as the medical superintendent and vice principal. Full stop. These officers are bracket 1,
Professor
Doc-
Dr. Manas Banerjee.
Professor Dr. Manas Banerjee, who was earlier working as the who was earlier posted as principal at the
Barasat Medical College.
at Barasat Medical College, semicolon, and bracket 2.
Professor Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee.
Professor Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee,
He was posted as a MSVP of Bakura Sammelini Medical College.
who was previously posted as the medical superintendent and vice principal of the
Bakura
Bankura Medical College. The status report, which has been submitted by the state of West Bengal, indicates the following position in regard to the ongoing work at 28 medical colleges. 8 March ko A1 ka copy kar lo. As regards the status of the work at the RG Medical College, the status report is in the following terms, page 6 or 7 ko BB. Though the state has indicated that the remaining work would be completed within a time frame of 31 October 2024. The court has been assured that all work would be completed by 15 October 2024.
We will make all endeavors, my lord. Some little thing will
That
remain.
the state will
one or
make
two
all endeavors to
0%.
complete the work by
complete.
15 October 2024. To stop, the state shall positively ensure that work is completed by 15 October 2020.
It's not to push the point.
So,
The
in
irregularity has
RG
been
Kor,
going on for
in
at least
RG
2
Kor,
decades.
one moment.
If this irregularity has been going on for at least 2 decades, and if the individuals who have now been appointed have been associated
Lord-
with
My lord,
institution,
can the state please
then the
finish?
fact that the previous employment was not with RG Kor doesn't make a difference.
No, but
I know, but sometimes what happens is that merely because they have, he was appointed, he was with RG Kor 4 years back,
If they at least
he may not be involved in anything at all if these are.
disclose whether the individuals had previous relationship with RG Kor, let them at least disclose.
My lord, but that is the most shocking part of it. Because 4 years back, my lord,
You know what? Sometimes you need a person who is conscious of that particular establishment also. If that person is otherwise free of taint, and today the government is bringing in somebody from outside, there's no reason for us to suspect that a person who is deliberately brought in with a taint.
Yes, my
Oh,
lord, we
yes,
took
my lord,
instructions
there was-
and we are told that immediately the doctors are not aware of any taint, but we will come back with specific
May I-
instructions.
In RG Corps College, Lord, regarding duty room, Lord, the tenders have matured, but we need the CBI's clearance, Lord, because of the crime.
Mr. Solicitor,
I'm sure, Lord, will.
they need your clearance for completing the work in the duty room because you've lifted all the evidence now.
Whatever
duty
they
room-
were supposed not to do for first 5 days, my lord, they've done. Now, even if they do something more, my lord, we have no objection.
Anyway, you just communicate it to them, that's all.
Yes,
No,
yes.
it's all right,
one
Lord, it's-
aspect.
It is the CBI which has stopped us, Lord, so we need permission, otherwise we would have done it.
My lord, 4 years back, when this
No.
particular person
Lord,
was
may I maybe
brought into
complete.
RG
We
Kor,
have more
my
serious.
lord, he was responsible for selling off babies. My lord, the matter is pending before the
No,
High Court.
this is unfair, this is unfair.
But it's not unfair.
Just one second.
I don't know from all these
Just
reports.
one second.
actually.
Let CBI investigate.
You can't
Who are
just
you?
make, one second.
No, no, I have the order sheet.
Just one,
Where
But-
DNA was conducted.
one second.
represent?
Just listen to us. You can't just throw an allegation like
Yes.
that across the bar.
Responsible.
On the next date of listing, you show us something to indicate.
No, no, I'll show the orders where the DNA was conducted
Right?
by the High
Then
Court.
Put it on the record,
I'll put it on record.
You can't just, otherwise
Four
we have
years
to,
that-
we have to follow some order
This
and
is not, I'll
procedure in
put it
the
on
court.
record. I'll put
Nothing
it on
Put it
the
on the
beyond
record. We are
pleadings,
here, we are here. We'll immediately ask them to replace the
Lord,
order.
he should also tell us what is his locus, Lord, from where he is getting
I mean,
information. Lord.
But my argument, it was.
All right, look, you put it on the record.
I'll put
that's
it-
it.
And which party does he represent?
Lord, may I have a very important request to make? Lord?
Correctly.
My learned friend said that all doctors have joined, Lord, they have joined, but only they are performing emergency
Oh,
work.
just a minute, Below, this is
They
a
are-
false
one
statement. It's a false statement
All
and
right.
they've admitted it in their affidavit. Below,
Very
Ms.
strict.
Indira Jaising,
Yes.
Senior Counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, has made a solemn statement that pursuant to the hearing which took place in court on the last occasion, all doctors have rejoined their duties.
Below, the word, the expression that I've used,
Responding to the statement of Mr. Rakesh Dwivedi.
They are not doing IPD and
one
OPD.
second,
That learned senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, that the doctors are not performing
IPD
the
and
IPD and OPD duties, Ms. Jaising assures the court that the doctors are performing all duties without exception.
including all essentials and emergency services, that may be recorded.
All duties.
No, Lord, because there's a dispute over the expression. The essential services are being performed.
You're not performing only essential service, right? You're performing all duties, we take it from you.
And they've admitted it in their own affidavit.
You're performing all
No,
duties.
we have said not IPD, OPD.
Look, this is part of the threat
Anyway, Minister,
culture.
I'm not accusing, Lord, I'm only
This is
praying with
part of
folded
the
hands. Lord, to
civilization of the doctors,
to join.
Lord.
So therefore, we have recorded your statement that
Mr.
you are
Puja.
performing all duties. So now abide by the statement.
And
Duties are
second,
performed by the senior doctors.
now, Lord, one,
Manoj, they've admitted it in the affidavit that the junior doctors have rejoined. So where is the?
Where is this? Please show us the
No,
page.
they
What
have.
para number?
you know it,
Now
to
that-
your knowledge, they have rejoined, to your knowledge.
Senior doctors.
Please show us.
Lords kindly be seen, my lords. What we have said.
A statement that they are willing, that they are ready, that they are doing all all
So
work.
they are not doing so.
They are-
There
Milord, please, this cannot be allowed. Let him file a separate application for.
are 17.
Ms. Jai Singh, are you making a statement that you are performing IPD and OPD work?
Yes, here's my statement. Please record it as I say it. They are performing all essential and emergency
What is
services.
essential?
Let me finish.
COVID is
Essential
right.
services includes OPD. Essential
No, not
services.
like-
No, 1 minute, Milord, they should know better than me. They're
Junior doctors
doctors.
are very important for
They
the
should
health
know better
system.
than me.
Hospitals
If
cannot.
according to you, you are performing all essential services.
Yes.
We record your statement, which
That's right.
includes IPD and OPD,
OPD is part of essential services.
right?
It's
Likewise,
I
inpatient
want it
department
on
also.
record, my lord. I want it on record that they are performing emergency and essential services. That's the medical name. My lord, it's the medical name given to this service.
But will that mean that you will not render services to a child who comes in with a normal ailment during the term of the weather, but you will try and save
No.
a dying patient?
No, my lord, no. OPD
You are
falls
supposed
within
to give
essential
Work
services.
in the hospital, which any
OPD
doctor.
falls within
Your
essential
lordship may say
services.
all
Not-
essential services, including
Yes,
IPD, OPD.
It's not the way they have admitted that we are back at work.
No,
If
we
you
have not.
continue like this,
The main-
I will take no responsibility for one more
But
strike.
therefore, 1 second, are you stating that you are performing all medical and essential work, including IPD and OPD work?
Because it's part of essential service. No, my lord, your lordship may record that. I don't want confusion.
But Ms. India,
We don't want to
has
make any false
categorically-
statements in this
has
court.
Categorically stated that all the doctors are and shall perform all medical and essential work, including
PD.
IPD and OPD work.
Yes, I'm grateful.
My lords, in all of this, there have been 2 attacks. On the 27th
Yes.
of September in Shagor Dotto Medical College Hospital, there was an assault when the mob entered and the police and the non-state security personnel, the Rati Reshati said that they are doubling down on, stood back. So my lords, there is
Nobody
a second
stood back.
attack that happened yesterday.
My
My lords, if I may just
That you are investigating. This is not a general investigation onto what is happening on issues of law and order in every hospital.
Yes.
But we take it that you are taking action in accordance with.
We have filed
People have been
My lords,
arrested,
in this
FIR
regard,
because
action
the-
is not
the
being
two
taken.
versions are that a patient died because, my lord, he was not provided bed. He was critical. No doctor attended.
No,
Only
my lords,
the
these are,
doctor-
these allegations cannot be
But
made,
there
my
is-
lords.
There are-
These allegations cannot be made, my
But surely we can't decide them on the level of the volume of the voice. He'll have to decide it if at all after records come before us.
Exactly, my lords.
Yeah.
There are no records.
There's an assertion by the state, we're denying it.
We have put
Yeah,
it on
lordship,
record.
I
Let
said
them
this,
reply.
the lordship is still physically away,
Fine,
but I'm
fine.
the nearest proximity.
No, I'm the nearest.
There are,
All right,
Just a minute.
my lordships, may I,
all right.
Just
one last-
Mr. Solicitor, when will you give us the report on the status of the
Whenever
investigation?
next,
We'll take it up on the Monday after the mini break of the court. So that will give you almost 10 days time to investigate. Of
can
course,
it be Tuesday?
My lordship,
Monday.
just hear me for a second.
your lordships, may I mention?
lord,
and
please
I know
hear me for a
given
second.
sensitive nature of the pictures, I've taken those back. Your lordship,
1 second. Is it in relation to the state of West Bengal and the RG Kaur
your
hospital?
lordship, this is where.
1 second. Yes or no?
No.
Then that is the end of the matter. Sorry. No.
Your lordship,
Not a word,
So, no, sorry.
not a word of clarification that the High Court can proceed with the other petitions, my lord, which are outside the remit of what your lordships are supervising.
Yes, we are not.
No, but
If we-
that's it. Last time they said. it's
Mr.
before the
if we
Supreme Court.
wanted the High Court to stay its hand, we would have indicated that right away.
So, my lord,
We didn't. It's a
can we have a specific?
There are issues of moment which we are considering. There are issues which are best left to be handled at a local level by the division
Exactly,
bench.
my lord. Therefore, my lord, just.
But they also know that issues which we are dealing with, they will not touch.
My lord,
Other matters
last,
they can.
last time they had a difficulty. I was personally appearing in the matter in the Calcutta High Court.
What was the issue?
The difficulty was, is this also, the case was about the police commissioner's statement immediately on the morning of, as he exited from the hospital, giving an interview disclosing the victim's name.
Somebody will have to file a writ petition. with
Yes,
that.
my lord, we filed a writ petition to the High Court.
Have we stayed the hearing of that writ petition? We have not. Have we transferred that writ petition?
No,
to
the
us
lordships
as-
haven't. But a word of clarification, the difficulty. But, yeah, Now, your lordship may only say this. Anything outside the remit of what your lordships have said.
Mr. Jetmalani,
Yes.
Mr. Dwivedi,
My lord,
if there's a repetition dealing with the police commissioner's conduct, we are not staying the proceedings before the High Court at all.
It can
So
go on
please,
there.
neither side should tell the court that, well, we are seized of that matter. We are very clear that the repetition which has been filed.
But will your lordship say that anything outside the remit of what has been said?
It's not required to be said.
The High Court is seasoned enough to know what
But
not
last
to
time-
enter upon.
Last time we said that they were not going into.
Now we have made our position clear.
The National Task Force, we directed to file the interim.
Mr. Solicitor, now, would we have the report of the National Task Force on the next date?
Can be.
Because then we can issue broader directions
Yes,
for
yes,
implementing.
Correct.
So please
I
make
will
sure,
communicate, my lord, through.
because we had said that an interim report and the final report, now we should have actually both.
my lord, on the task
20th
force.
of October.
Solicitor General, the Solicitor General shall place on the record the outcome of the proceedings before the National Task
My lord,
Force,
lordship will
or
give-
at least apprise this court on the status, on the progress which is being made.
My lord, but your lordship will just give me 1 second on the task force
Why-
issue.
Dr. Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India.
Sorry,
Dr. Rajiv Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India.
have you filed an IA?
Yeah, we have filed an intervention.
What is your IA for? How are you concerned with RG Kar Medical College?
Arjikor in general violence all over India that is happening.
That we will take up. We'll go step by step. We'll first deal with
submit
RG
three
Kar. We are
documents
dealing
for
with
your
the state of West
My
Bengal.
lord, may I just have a-
We'll deal with this at a little later stage.
Have to
Yeah.
submit
My lord,
three
with your
documents for your
permission, I
consideration.
just
Your
have a
Honor.
single word on the question of the task force. My lord, I have already filed an IA. I have no problem if it's taken up on the next date. But the point that we've pointed out there is the task force doesn't have any representation from West Bengal. We have made a humble request to this court to,
Everyone can
one
represent.
second, please. That is the task force is constituted by this honorable court. The members' names have been put by this honorable court. Only this court can alter the composition of the task force. It's a humble request to include into the task force at least one representative from the state of West
See,
Bengal.
If you-
1 second.
1 second, now will you,
Please. Of your-
both sides, will you please hear us?
Yes,
The task force is not state specific.
it's
The
not.
task, 1 second.
That's right.
We are going to issue directions based on the report of the task force,
Yes.
which will have pan-India application.
Yes, my lord.
If we agree to your suggestion, we will have to include representatives of every state in the task force.
No,
Therefore, just 1 second,
Yes,
therefore, we have directed that the task force shall engage with stakeholders.
I understand.
Please address an email on behalf of the resident doctors, both juniors and seniors in West Bengal, to the task force.
Yeah.
The cabinet secretary and his team are coordinating all logistical arrangements. They will ensure that you are heard by the task force and all your inputs are taken into account. Please rest assured.
Fully agree.
Your Honor, I want
And that just
I
1
want
minute, my lord, one.
Papers.
My lord, just 1 minute.
This is not like what happens, in
No,
a
wait.
conference of doctors. It's a court of law.
Yeah, that's.
You will speak when you are called upon to speak,
Also.
right?
Uh,
Yes,
Ask-
yes.
Here you can talk. My lord, just one more thing. I understand what has been put to me, that it's an all India task force and therefore every state can't have a representation. However, having regard to the fact that this incident arose in West Bengal,
Just do this, Ms. Jaising. Please write an email right away to the convener of the task force. If they have not heard already the resident doctors from West Bengal, please request for an urgent appointment. You can then have a few representatives of all the associations, meet them and give them a complete appraisal of what your concerns are, what your inputs are to the work of the task force. It will be a welcome suggestion and they will give you a hearing. The Solicitor General is here, he'll communicate it to the Cabinet Secretary.
my lord, would your lordship consider, second, please, let me finish. Would your lordship consider appointing a sub-task force for West Bengal so that the specific issues which have arisen in West Bengal, which are not common to the rest of the country, can be looked into?
You see, all the members of the task force are people of unquestioned national
I
standing.
don't question it, my lord.
And therefore, the only point which you have made, which is a valid point, which is that the concerns specific to the doctors in West Bengal should be taken into account.
Directed in the petition.
May I-
Therefore,
Yeah.
Ms. Jaising, all that you have to do is to address an email to the Cabinet Secretary. They will ensure that at the next meeting of the task force, representatives of all the resident doctors are heard by the court.
I will convey this to them for sure.
We're going to
My
do
lord,
that, my lord, on the next occasion.
On the next date of hearing, I'll briefly mention what they are. We do not want nomination of students, interns and doctors. We want them to be elected representatives on the monitoring committee, the grievance committee and the other committees. Your lordship may take it up for hearing. The state has committed to facilitating elections.
Right, but therefore this can be really addressed to the task force itself.
No, my lord, not to the task force, to your lordships. I have put it in
My
the
lord, we'll do it on the next occasion, my lord.
It's part of the agreed minutes.
Grateful, Minister.
Oblige me.
It's part of the agreed minutes, my lord.
We're not now going to go into whether election should be held, nomination should be made.
It has to be done, my lord. It
We
can't
must
be,
also understand, the remit
it
of
can't
our-
be
of our
nominated
jurisdiction.
people on the,
My
on
lords,
the,
we'll
on these
submit on the
committees,
next
my lord.
occasion. On the
These
next occasion,
committees
please.
cannot have nominated people. They have to be elected, my lord.